Hey, this is Jim with Dieselgeek. Today we're going to install the Sigma 5 shifter on an O2J transmission. So the first step, we have the transmission and the shifter out of the car. It's easier to show you a little bit than trying to get in there on a car. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to remove the stock shifter. On the side-to-side bracket, we're going to turn the knurled ring, push it in and turn the knurled ring to lock it with the fingers open, like that. And then on the pivot pin, we're going to undo the shiny metal clip down here with our fingernail, and then just take that clip off, and then this bracket just slides right on out, and then we're going to turn the knurled ring like that. This is a better showing of the clip. See, it's on there like that, and you just push it up with your fingernail and it comes right off. So we're going to set that aside, keep the clip right here. We're going to take the white bushing out of this tube. There's a bushing on this side and a bushing on this side. We're going to slip it on to the Sigma 5 side-to-side part. It'll make it easier to install later on. Next, we're going to remove the front-to-back bracket. Just loosen this nut, 8mm nut with a 13mm socket. Do not reuse this nut. We give you a brand new nut. If you ever have to reinstall a shifter and you don't have a brand new nut, please use blue Loctite on it so it doesn't back off. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and open the cable end, put it in neutral. Neutral is where you can move it up and down. Just kind of move it up and down a few times and it unlocks or comes off the shaft. You'll notice that there's a keyway right here. It's two joined teeth. Kind of see it in the sunlight. There's two joined teeth, and that's where the black mark needs to line up on the Sigma 5 front to back part. So we're going to go ahead and slip the cable onto the cable end onto the cable. Then we're going to line up the joined teeth with the black mark, and it goes right on. We're going to take the brand new black nut, thread it on, and when you tighten this, you tighten it good and tight, but just don't go crazy with it because you can shear off the stud, and that's a big problem. So we're going to put it back in neutral. I'm going to take the side-to-side bracket again with the white plastic bushing still on it, and we're going to insert the cable in onto the cable, and slide the pivot pin into the hole in the transmission. It's kind of a juggle act between this bracket and everything going in there, but once you get it to the right place, it goes right in. On this white plastic slider, there's an engraving that says top. You want to make sure that faces up, and then once it does, go ahead and slide it, and there's a groove on it that slips right onto this front to back part. Make sure the bushing, this other bushing, is in there. Take the shiny metal clip, slip it onto the groove. And so the shifter itself is installed. Now we just have to adjust it. So we're going to go into the car and going to lift up the shift boot out of the center console. We're going to take the 5mm pin, bent pin that we supply in our kit. We're going to slip it down through this first hole on the shifter itself. There's a little hole off to this side. You're going to push it down, down through that hole. And then there's another hole, 5mm hole down in the shifter base. We're just going to move the shifter until they both line up, and then push the pin all the way down, and it goes down, about that far. And once the shifter is pinned in the home position, we go back in the engine bay, and we're going to put the transmission into the home position. And how you do that is you push down on the shifter just a little bit, and then you push on this L-shaped pin. It's a plastic pin. Push in on it, and it'll go to where it's pointed straight up. And the pin actually sticks into the selector shaft, and that's what's locking it into the home position. This is the adjustment position. It's made only for adjusting the shifter. So once you've done both of the pinning items, you're ready to tighten the clamps holding the shifter cables to the shifter cable ends. So I'm going to go ahead and get your 3/8 box end wrench, and then your 4mm Allen wrench, And you want to push down on the cable, push down on the front to back bracket like this, and you can see it moves the cable end off of the cable just a little bit. And I think it gives a better adjustment if you do that. So I'm pushing down on this other cable end with my palm, and then I'm holding the nut, and then I'm going to go ahead and drive the little Allen screw until it's pretty snug. I'm going to go do the second one. And that's it for we're just going to get a test out of this, so we don't have to go any further than this. And after you've done that, go ahead and do the first two on the front to back cable end. And it's not critical where you clamp it. It's in the right position. It's perfectly fine. So you go do a couple screws. Go ahead and unlock the transmission, which is you push down just a little bit here, and then the locking pin unlocks. And you go back inside the car, remove the locking pin, cycle the shifter. You have first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, reverse. You really want just first and second to be smooth. If first and second are smooth, then you're good. Your adjustment is good. And then to finish the whole process, after first and second are proven to be good, you can just go ahead and finish tightening the last two screws on the cable end, on both the side to side and the front to back. And you want to just work back and forth. Don't go too nuts with them, but as you'll see, once you tighten one down, the next one will be just a little bit loose, and just work them until the gap is about the width of 2 playing cards. And once you've done that, you are pretty much done. If you removed anything to gain access, which isn't really necessary, on a VR6 car you might want to remove the air box to get a little access, a little better access, but it can be done with the air box in. But once you've done that, you're pretty much finished with the install of this Dieselgeek Sigma 5 shifter.